Yo, a guaranteed legendary champion event is coming, the one that endgame players have been saving all their shards for. Pull a particular number of shards, this time ancient shards, and you will get a legendary 100%. That's what makes it a guaranteed. So you're wondering, how many ancient shards do you have to pull just when a 2x ancient just ended? Although that was for newer players who are still looking for epics and new legendaries. But if you have all the legendaries, you don't want duplicates anymore, you probably did not pull for that 2x and you're saving all your ancient shards or a particular number of ancient shards for a guaranteed. This will shock you. All right, before we go into that hot information, let me also let you know that this guaranteed champion event will not be standing alone. When is it going to come up? Do you still have chance or time to even gather more ancient shards? It's going to start on the 26th of May, which is thus tomorrow. That's Friday. It's going to be a weekend shard pool because we had a 2x last weekend, so this weekend already we know it's going to be a 10x. So 10x champions are also included in this video. How many 10x champions? We'll have 4 legendary champions available in the 10x, and we also have 4 epic champions if you're crazy about them. All right, so let's start about the epics first. Let's start cold before we get to the hot topic right now. The first epic champion that will be part of this 10x event, if you're crazy about him or if you need him in your account, is gonna be Grizzled Jar. He's a Dwarfs faction champion, and you find him right here. Early game players use him because he does have, is it increased defense? Yes, that's something you'll notice about all these champions that I'll name in this draft. Yes, they call it a draft. 10x draft is going to be that they all have increased defense one way or the other. So begin to think of champions. Who do you think have increased defense? Is the increased defense champion legendary also going to be part of this the guaranteed legendary? I'm going to see his skill when we get to him because he's a new champion that came into raid. Yes. All right, right there, that's all this champion you need to know about him. He brings in blocks debuff buff for 1 turn. That's why it's not quite popular, but for early game, block debuff buff for 1 turn works. And the second champion that also performs similar like he does, that is part of this 10x on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, is going to be Muslim Mage, where you can find him on the Undeads, right? He also brings 2 things you need in the clan boss. Here is a block debuff buff and increased defense. It seems they always have both of them. So it's the draft for this type of champions. The next champion in epic category that is going to be part of this draft is going to be Seeker. Seeker doesn't bring block debuff buff, but he's passive. Where is it? Does place increased defense, so that's why he's part of this draft. If you need him for your unkillable teams, I still use my Seeker for unkillable teams. I thought I would build 2 Seekers, but it seems like 1 is all you need, and he serves that purpose in my unkillable clan boss team with double monitor. I have a video about that. So that's what I use this champion for. Also awesome in faction wars, really helped me in that content back when I wasn't using him in unkillable teams. All right, so that's Seeker right there for you. He's no longer found these days in the arena, though. He used to be a staple for Ghost second teams because of this increased defense passive that he has. Damn, Seeker has fallen off from arena totally, but it's still maybe useful in the early game. The next champion that is part of this draft is Osola the Mona. Osola the Mona. This champion is new to me. I have her on my account all this time. She helped me in faction war a little bit, but I've never taken her to like really build her and explore her full potential. Some people use her in what do you call this content? Any content that needs decreased attack, right? Because of this, her A1 right here has a 40. No, it's not her. Where is the A1? Decrease attack, yeah, decrease attack right here and increase attack at the same time. So this is what she's mostly used for in content. She also has a heal that she will waste most of the time, even if nobody is dead. That's why I don't use her a lot. But I think she's 60 on my account. I used her in faction war. She was one of my revivers in that Banner Lords faction. You have to use it on manual, else she will waste this skill. It does have an increased defense. That's why she uses it even if nobody is dead. 5 turn cooldown revive. Even when she's wasting it is a long time, but she's very, very useful. I've seen her being used in the Hydra because of this increased attack and increased decreased attack skill that she has on this. I thought this her A1 is the one that places decreased attack. Maybe I'm confusing her for the other Void epic champion that has that decreased attack on the A1. They look alike, I guess. All right, that's the epic champions who are available in this 10x. If you're pulling this number of shards, you might get these ones if you're new to raid, but for newer players this is not the best time for you to put your shard. Remember, 10x event does not increase the chances that you get epics or legendaries. You might pull 5 epics and none of them is this ones that is named. All right, let's move over to the legendary category. I'll start hot. The first legendary champion that is part of this 10x on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Can you guess from this undead who has increased defense? That's gonna be a CP. Come on, that's a CP. I always thought CP was a ancient, like somebody you can get from ancient shard or secret shard, but no, she's a void legendary champion because she deserves to be. It's her husband Rotos or her partner Rotos that is obtainable from secret shards or from ancient shards. She's very special because she's sometimes even more important than he is in most teams. So that's CP for you. You can obtain her if you pull your void shards. Yes, you see that if you pull void shards on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you might get a CP if you need her that bad. But again, you might pull 5 legendary champions, 5 void legendaries, and none of them is a CP because the 10x chances need to be improved. But we're not here to talk about that. I just have to put it, slide it in a little bit so newer players know what they're getting themselves into. Don't be disappointed when you pull all your void shards, get 2 legendaries, get 3 legendaries, and don't obtain a CP. It's the chances, it's the odds. But this is the one that people will want the most out of all these champions on this list. 3 more to go for the legendaries. The next one is Archbishop Pintoy. I asked myself, why is this champion even on this list? Because who wants him? I was thinking, was it not a fusion? And then I remembered it's somebody else that looked like him that was a fusion that I obtained. What was his name? This other champion from another faction, I think. It's not Wholespring. With a cross on his head, I think. Oh, this dude, yeah. He kind of reminded me of Bival the Thorn, but they're not similar in any way. I just confused them a little. But he is the one that was available on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you're pulling your ancient shard or sacred shards, you might get this champion on that 10x if you want him. I've not seen him being used a lot in Rage though. I think Bival is even used more than he is. But check out his skill. I'm not going to go into all their skills and all that. We're just here to give you the news about what's coming this weekend. All right, the next champion that is part of this 10x will be one that most people might even prefer over a CP. Never. She's going to be from the Shadow King faction. She does have increased defense, just like Sika. Can you guess which one does have increased defense? There's not a lot of options than just Kyoku, and she is one that I still don't own, and this champion is hard, or she used to be hard to deal with because of she has a passive that places increased defense when you hit the allies, right? Every time this champion is hit with a critical hit, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP, then places increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. So just like a Sika, but she does it better, I guess. So she used to be hard to deal with, but these days I find ways to deal with her. It's her other skills that you should be concerned about, not even just her passive. You find this passive useful in Go second teams though, but I don't see her a lot these days in the arena. She's still very, very good. For most people who build her will use her for PvE content, maybe for dungeons, maybe for Doom Tower, or even for clan boss. Hydra also, but she works in PvP content also for Go second teams. The last one on the list that is part of this 10x will be one that I also do not own. See, most of the champions on this list, I don't own them. Well, besides the Epic, I don't have a Sifi, I don't have a Kyoku, I don't have a Archbishop Pintoy. So maybe I should pull my shards for this 10x. Not today. And all right, the next one is what's his name or her name? She's going to be from which faction? Let me see. Sacred Order also, and she also have increased defense. Her damage is also based on defense, and one that I do not own, Mata. And where does she place the defense? Right here. Increased defense and counter attack. But this champion was popular, or used to be popular in clan boss. She's still very popular before unkillable teams took over. Now these days people are fine with their Skull Crusher. They use their Skull Crusher as their default counter attack champions in clan boss until they move over to unkillable teams. People are beginning to skip her, and yeah. Is it she that has that passive? I always confuse her with a Valkyrie because their character design and their, the way the battle looks almost similar. Where is Valkyrie? She's from this faction too. She's not from this faction. So why do I always confuse both of them? I thought she's also from this faction. Well, That's matter. She also have that increased defense right there. So that's what all these champions have in common. If you're pulling your shards Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you have a 10 times chance that it might be one of these champions on the list. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, while you're pulling your shards, if you pull 180, not sacred shards, 180 ancient shards, do you know what you're gonna get? Guaranteed legendary champion, like you see in the banner in the thumbnail that I will hopefully blow out so you don't just see his face and wait for the last moment. What's his face again? What's his name? Let me just show you why he's so important right now in raid. If you head over to your portal, if you head over to the fragment fusion, if you've not completed your Jetney the Giant fusion yet, yes, now you know where I'm going, right? You need to click her avatar or go to Barbarian's faction and see one of her skills says inflicts 20% more damage against targets under shield buffs. Will ignore shield buffs if Asgore Crimson Horn is on the same team. That's the passive. Check this out again. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Before attacking, will place increased crit rate buff and 30% increased crit damage on this champion for 2 turns. When she does that buffing, she will then attack. She will only grant herself an extra turn if this kills an enemy if Asgore is on the same team. So you know how Candrophone goes in for the big AoE hit, kills somebody, then takes an extra turn. He doesn't buff himself before going for that extra hit, right? So this is this craziest part of this skill, that she will buff herself up, kill somebody, then grant an extra turn if he's in the same team. This is why most players will use her, because buffing yourself, going in for the big nuke, then granting yourself an extra turn if he's in the same team is wonderful. To my senses, it's wonderful. So far, I've not seen, besides one of these champions, Mariska, who places AoE provoke, whether you have block debuff buff on yourself or not. She kills you, all of a sudden grants an extra turn to herself. You're standing there, this champion is taking 3 turns. It feels like Jetney the Giant will be taking 3 turns in PvP content if Asgore is on the same team. So what's so special about it? It does this skill also synergizes with him. This debuff cannot be resisted if Asgore is on the same team. So a decreased defense skill will not be resisted. She will not need accuracy if he's on the same team. So, surprise, people will be running both of them in arena. Now, how good will they be? Will they reach platinum level? Will they become the new Mariska and U's combo, or Venus and Cupidus, or CP and Roto's combo? We don't know how good they will be. It's just with time that will let the platinum players build them with their crazy gear and see whether they are actually viable together. But whenever you see champions pair well together, they always go well together, including Yumeko and her partner. So that's why this champion will be special, and he can also be found in which faction? Asgore. She's from the Barbarian. Is he also from the Barbarian? I didn't look up his faction. I don't want to search for it. Is he already in the game? I think so. It was released at the same time with her. Yes, he's right there in the game. I actually see somebody already pulled him from shards and was looking to build him in unkillable team. Is it this champion that can be used as like a Helica team? I tell you, when he came out to the game, I didn't look at his skills. I didn't review him. But I'm looking for the skill that makes it possible for him to. That's it right here. Fully heals a target ally. You feel just one heal, that's nothing, right? But check out, places block damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's basically an Helicat when booked 4-turn cooldown. So this champion is gonna be the new unkillable champion, or whatever they want to call it, if you want to build him in those type of clan boss unkillable teams, or block damage skill for the Iron Twins Fortress. Anywhere block damage is useful, he's gonna be the champion that most people will be using if you obtain him. So remember, we still have champions like what's her name, Demeter, who has this block damage on 1 turn, on a 4-turn cooldown, but just for 1 turn, and many champions, but only legendaries so far of legendary I think I see that have it on a 2-turn block damage, which makes it very good for the clan boss. All right, so that's the champion that will be part of this guaranteed legendary event. If you think you want a Jetney the Giant so bad, you're already obtaining her from the fragments, but you want to pair them well together, pull 180 ancient shard, and you get this champion guaranteed. Remember, if you get him along the way, maybe 100 or 150, you pull him, you will not get him again when you get to 80. Your guaranteed will end at your number of shards. So that's something to note. I don't want to go through all his skills. This is one that just catches my attention the most, that most people will use him for. But if you know other ways that he synergizes well with Jetney the Giant, you read it and find out by yourself. I'm not looking forward to obtaining him. Check out even his passive synergizes with her. So I guess they will pair well together. I don't want to make this one too long. I just wanted to give you this news that a 10x is coming on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It also coincides with a guaranteed legendary event. You have to pull your ancient shards 180 to obtain this awesome champion who pairs well with Jetney the Giant. You have to pull your void shards if you want to get the Sifi right there from void, or the other champions who are part of this 10x. Remember, be smart about it. A fusion just ended, so you are free to go crazy with your shards, but I don't want to discourage anybody. In case you've been saving for a time like this for a guaranteed, go ahead. But personally, 180 ancient shards is crazy. Remember, it used to be 150. It used to be 150. This is not a void legendary champion. This is not a game breaking champion, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So if they make a game breaking champion like a Sifi, that's a void champion. But you know what I'm saying? Or a Rotos, let's say a Rotos for 180. I'll look for shards. I'll go out on the street and beg for money to buy shards and pull for a Rotos who I still don't own for 3 years. There are champions who you want to pull 180 or 200 ancients for. I don't know if Asgore is one of them, because you have to pair them together. We'll just have to see. I don't know if he pairs well with her. Like I said, this is just my initial review of this champion. I don't know his skills. I'll look forward to those who are going to do the testing, damage test and all that, to see if he's actually worth it or not. But yeah, do your research before going for this champion. 180 ancient shard is 20 above the normal value, or no, 30 above the normal value that we normally have. And yeah, we have to let this known that it used to be 150, now it's 180. Are we okay with shards with guaranteed legendary events being 180? Or is it because now they are giving us more ways to earn ancient shards, therefore they have to increase how they are taking it out of this game? I don't want to go into the politics about why they increase it, or will this just be this time, or will it be just like this forever? And people wonder why I pulled 500 ancient shards on a 2x, because I knew when a guaranteed legendary will come, it will not be 150 ancient shards. I also knew when a guaranteed legendary will come, it will not be one that I'm crazy about getting. So I'm not crazy about getting him. So I'm still happy that I pulled my 500 ancient shard on the other day and got some trash and legendaries and some duplicates and some new ones. I'm fine with that. My 5 legendaries from 500 ancient shard. Will I be saving my legendaries? I don't have legendaries. That's why I'm happy. That's why I'm on the fence on this one. I'm not supporting the 10x. I'm not against it. I just have to give my review of it. I'm still sitting at a cool 10 ancient shards, so I'm out of this. My hands are clean. I'm gonna be playing my game, watching you guys pull. Share your screenshots on the Discord if you pull any awesome champions. If you did get these 10x champions, I would love to hear from you, because I always say 10x is a scam. So please prove me wrong. If you pull shards, 1 legendary, 2 legendaries, that you got these champions, share your screenshots in the Discord. All right guys, links in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my video right now for more daily raid Shadow Legends content. Let me know also in the comments if we'll be going for this 180 ancient shard, and tell me what is so special about this Jetney and what's his name now, Asgore combo, that I don't know about or that I've not researched myself. Later guys.